Good morning, and welcome back to another page in an angler's diary. Back in the Highlands of Scotland today. Fantastic place. The plan is to see if we can catch the odd Highland brown trout. The plan was to have a few hours yesterday on one of the local hill locks. Unfortunately, we had the most evil southwesterly wind yesterday, which just made fishing impossible. So by way of contrast, we're going to see if we can winkle one out of this place. Wish me luck. Bugger. That was a pull. Well, 3 hours in, and one half-hearted pull is as near as I've come. I mean, there's absolutely no activity to see. I've never seen a fish rise at all this morning. The wind is strengthening slightly. There's a nice ripple. It's fairly warm, so you'd think the conditions were perfect, but at the moment it's a huge piece of water, and I think I might well be in the wrong place. Well, that was a blank. As I say, apart from one half-hearted pull, nothing. Daunting piece of water to fish, to be honest. It's huge, as you could see, and you're always mentally thinking, well, why would the fish be here rather than half a mile up there? But anyway, nice to be out. Wind's getting up, starting raining, so now's the time to pack up. See you again shortly. Well, good afternoon, and I'm just getting my breath back, to be honest. Bit of a hike, but I made it to my chosen hill lock. I have to say, yesterday I didn't think this was going to happen, because I was struggling to get in touch with the keeper for this estate to get permission to come and fish. Like most visiting anglers, well, a lot of visiting anglers to the Highlands, I use Bruce Sanderson's Locks and Rivers guide for the details of the fisheries and the contacts for those fisheries. However, my edition is 2014. In fact, I'm not sure whether there's anything newer than that, but obviously in 7 years a lot can change. I mean, not so much the fisheries, the locks and what's in them and things, but certainly the contacts. And yesterday I spent a long time on the phone trying to eventually track down the current keeper. I managed to find a retired keeper without any trouble at all, but tracking down the current keeper took a bit of doing. Fortunately, last night he was very kind enough to text me back and tell me I could come and fish, so hence the bit of a hike. Lovely water, conditions more or less perfect, and needless to say, as you've heard me say so many times before, anything exciting happens, I'll be back to you. Well, that was third cast on the hillock, and I'm attached to something, as they say. Not sure what it's taken just yet, but it's pulling well. Pulling very well. Goodness, not really seen it yet. My goodness, that's a strong fish. Third cast as well, as I say. Oh, that's a lovely fish. My goodness. That's what we came for, as they say. Dear me. Come here. Yes. Well, my goodness, what a beautiful fish. Taken on the top dropper. A kihi, as they say. Well, that's just perfect. I don't know whether you can see that or not. If you give me a minute. Well, it's a bit twisted in the net, but look at that. Isn't that wonderful? God, I love fishing. That is kind of wonderful. Perfect. Right, an hour in and nothing further to report other than one tug which came and went that quickly that I missed it by a mile. For those of you interested in the technical bit, and going back to Bruce Sanderson's Lochs and Rivers guide, his recommended flies for this hill loch were Kihi, Greenwell Glory and Peter Ross. I'd be foolish to ignore that sort of advice, and so on the point fly, Peter Ross, and on the top dropper, Kihi, and it was the Kihi that I got the first fish on. Greenwells, I gave the Greenwells a swerve, as they say. Middle dropper, Silver Butcher. That's always worked well for me, and it's all about what you have trust in. And so far, Kihi's done the business. Time to see if the other two get me a fish or not. It's taken an hour and a half, but there's another one on. I don't think this is quite as big as the other one we had, but I suspect it'll be just as pretty. Hey, look at that. Well, like I said, not quite as big as the first one, but just as handsome. Well, it took the Peter Ross, so both of the recommended flies have caught me fish. And just look at that. What's not to admire there? Isn't that beautiful? And number 3, I'm sort of fishing across the waves at here, and I've seen 1 or 2 splashy sorts of rises, and lo and behold, I found a fish. This feels a slightly better one. Yeah, I think this has got a little bit more about it, as they say. Again on the Peter Ross. Yeah, that's a nice fish. Well, a very nice fish. Well, that makes the walk very worthwhile. You know, I'm getting pull after pull, and I've had 3 in a row really, and failed to hook up on each one. So I'm gonna have to check me hooks, I think, because it's possible that I've hit a stone or something. So I'll have a quick check. Excuse me, a quick tackle check. Well, the tackle check revealed a badly tangled middle dropper. So I've made up a new leader and gone down to 2 flies to try and avoid the same thing happening again. I think 2 flies is enough of a challenge when you're fishing across the wind like this. So needless to say, the 2 flies are Keehee and Peter Ross, which are the ones that have caught me the fish so far. So let's see if we can find another one. Well, I was never really going to get away with it, was I? And it's gone a bit quiet on the fish front. Haven't had a pull or anything now for a little while. Perhaps I've moved past where the fish are. I'm not sure, to be honest. I keep taking a stepper cast just to cover new water, but of course I might now be covering new water where the fish aren't. So I'll give it a few more casts, and then I might move back to where I started from and come down again, just to see if I can stir something up. It's getting a little shallow here now, so I think moving back up the bank might be a smart move. Back in a minute. Well, I was about to move up the bank, as they say, when lo and behold something took hold. Probably call me impatient if you like. It's another nice fish. A good stamp of fish in this loch, I'll tell you. Now I've stood in the net. There we go, in the net. Look at that. There she was, gone. Lovely. Well, that's it. The perfect day really for lovely trout. The weather did its bit, and it's the perfect end to to another week in the Highlands. Really enjoyed that, I have to say. Back in November up here, it'll be the heavy duty gear, back into the pike fishing again. So hopefully we'll get 1 or 2 pike in November time. If you've watched this one all the way through, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. And there'll be another one along soon. No idea where we'll be and what we'll be doing, but rest assured there will be another one soon. Thanks for watching. See you soon.